Did you know that one day you may turn into this? Well, if you are a snake, then yes, you may end up looking like this after millions of years of evolution. But let's take it from the top. Hello everyone, welcome to Paleologic. Today we are discussing the insane evil. For more fun, fascinating episodes about all things ancient, don't forget to subscribe. We know today's world can feel like a scary place, but try not to worry too much. Chances are you're not going to get eaten by a giant prehistoric beast anytime soon, unless you live near an active fault line and a volcano, in which case, sorry, buddy, you got bigger problems than dinosaurs. In all seriousness though, let's talk about the animal you love to fear, the snake. We're going to start off with some prehistoric snakes. In the Jurassic period, which was roughly between 201 million and 145 million years ago, there lived a type of snake called Archiphysis. These guys were huge, measuring in at about 3 meters long. They also had paddle-shaped tails, which would have come in handy for swimming since they lived near lakes and rivers. They ate fish. Their fossils have been found in both Europe and North America. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a second. If snakes evolved from lizards, wouldn't their fossils be found in the same area? Well, not necessarily. See, lizards aren't the only animals that evolved over time. The continents did, too. Pangaea, which means all earth in Greek, was the supercontinent that existed during the late Paleozoic and early Mesozoic eras. It began to break apart during the Jurassic period, so those European Archaeopteryx could have easily slithered across the land bridge that connected what we now call Europe and the Americas. Before it was, well, Okay, so we've established that snakes definitely existed during the age of the dinosaurs. But when did they first appear on our planet? According to a study published in the journal Science in 2021, snakes evolved about 170 million years ago, which would have been around the same time that the first birds appeared. This means that birds and snakes have been competing for dominance for millions of years. Okay, maybe not really competing since, they're very different, but still. So remember those Archaeopteryx we talked about earlier? Well, a new study says that they didn't actually evolve from lizards, but rather from a group of reptiles called squamates, which includes lizards and snakes. Researchers analyzed the skull and body shape of various reptiles and came to the conclusion that snakes evolved from a group of burrowing squamates that started off on land and then moved into the water. Over time, they developed paddle tails and elongated bodies that helped them swim more efficiently. Eventually, they became fully aquatic. Now, modern-day snakes obviously don't spend much time in the water, but their ancestors did. This is evidenced by their skull structure, which is more suited for aquatic life. Researchers say that once snakes left the water, other species took over, like the ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs. But wait, there's more. Another study published in 2021 in the journal Nature Communications suggests that snakes evolved from terrestrial lizards that adapted to life underground. These snakes would have looked similar to modern-day blind snakes. They were small, about 8 inches long, and spent their days digging through dirt, looking for bugs to eat. Lizards and snakes both belong to the group called Lepidoptera, and the researchers suggest that the common ancestor of modern lizards and snakes would have looked like a primitive blind snake. They would have used their elongated bodies to burrow, and their lack of limbs would have been an adaptation to help them move through tight spaces. Over time, these snakes evolved into 2 distinct groups, one that returned to life above ground and became modern lizards, and another group that continued to live underground and became modern snakes. So which theory is correct? Did snakes evolve from lizards, or did they evolve from an ancient group of aquatic reptiles? Well, the jury's still out, but research is ongoing. Scientists are using new techniques to analyze ancient DNA and fossils in order to piece together the evolutionary history of snakes. Maybe one day we will have all the answers. Or maybe we won't. Maybe some things are better left unknown. Just remember, if you hear a knock at your door and there's no one there, don't open it. It could be a dinosaur trying to get in. Thank you for coming along on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this episode of Paleologic, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload.